Tighten up those belts because it's time to go. Wheels up. Jason. Rolling.
Oh.
That was your cue.
Tighten up my belts. Time to go wheels up.
It is. Look, we look like the three dumbest idiots.
We are the three dumbest idiots.
Yes.
What's the coolest thing you guys have ever done? Welcome to Wheels Up Wednesday. As you can see, three of us here this time. To my far left, that's Matt Omick. Right here in the center, this is our good friend Jason Irwin. I'm sure you've heard us talk about him plenty of times before, and you've seen him from, where was it, Las Vegas on the Strip in a casino?
Yep. Yeah, see me a couple times. I hear my name on here a lot, so I figured it'd be a good time to have a guest and try it out.
Yeah, it's because we don't have anything else to talk about, so we just keep on saying Jason, and all your accomplishments. Speaking of accomplishments, though, you guys had a fun weekend up in, what was it, Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska?
Yeah, we sure did.
In backwards order?
The first night we went to Nebraska, and then we went to Wyoming, and then we went to Colorado. They put on a 3-day show up there with national qualifiers for each race. So they drew a pretty big crowd, and we had 33 cars at Colorado on Sunday, so it was actually a really good show. Nice.
And we saw a little bit of action going into turn 3 on the final restart there. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, there was 2 laps to go, and we were running second, and the top 3 of us were really equal. And going into turn 3, nobody's going to give. We all want to win. And, you know, it was 3 wide going into turn 3, and they're just ran out of real estate. Kyle Clegg clipped Chris Eggleston, and he went shooting up the track. And I almost got in it, but made it around it. And then Eggleston had damage, so he was done. And Clegg got a call and got sent to the rear, so it gave us the front spot for the next restart.
Eggleston was not happy, was he?
No, I heard he threw his helmet when he got out, and I drove by him after the race, and he was just working on his car, and there was no one helping him. He was probably
pretty heated at that moment. What did you think during that whole thing, Mick?
I was definitely nervous. Interesting for sure. It was a fun race to watch. The whole weekend was fun. I've never been north of Fort Collins, Colorado, so it was cool to see some different country. It's very green up there. It's like Texas, but green. Nothing out there, but definitely a fun weekend.
Right on.
Exciting racing.
Yeah, I had a little bit of excitement on my own. I brought a little souvenir. Check that bitch out.
$1 million.
I did not get $1 million. If I did, you guys probably wouldn't see me ever again. But no, we had a fun time. We went over to Show Low Speedway Park, and I won both nights down there. It was a little light on car count, to say the least, but still had a lot of fun and worked on some stuff for California. And the VP Racing Fuels, SEH Motorsports, Hassel Racing, Matt's Mobile Detailing,
yep.
number 4S, was on rails and felt really good to get back in the seat. And I got to meet a couple new people down there, namely a Hawaiian. Out of anybody I could have met in Show Low, Arizona, this guy named Larry Peterson came down from Hawaii to race, and I thought that was so badass. Like, have you guys ever met anybody that races from Hawaii?
Negative.
The closest I've met was Alaska, and that was a trek, you know. I was like...
Yeah, that's also rare.
They race on snow up there, and he came to Oval Nationals, and it was kind of an eye-opener for him. But
was he tight?
He was slow, to say the least. Probably not used to all that groupings in the racetrack.
Yeah, Larry was cool though. Mahalo if you're listening.
You got a free shirt out of it too.
I actually traded him shirts. I asked him if he would do a trade. I gave him one of mine for one of his.
The collared one or one of your other regulars?
What collared one? Oh, like my nice one? No, that's a one of a kind. I don't. My dad didn't even get one of them. No, that's a one of a kind.
Yeah,
I gave him one of the. Oh, they're downstairs. You just have to wear it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Since you wear Jason Irwin every other day.
Or Matt's Mobile Detailing.
I know, this is rare.
This is the gym shirt.
Ruka.
Right.
And that's so weird. Why is it Ruka and not RVCA?
That's not a question for me.
Well, I also got to see some good sprint car racing this weekend, though, when I was in Show Low. And there was a really cool story down there in Show Low. Asa Kesterson. Weird last name. Weird name. Asa.
Yeah.
But Asa Kesterson, very small team, I mean, similar to, I would say, Timmy Hill in the Cup Series. that level of financial stability compared to what they're racing against.
Yeah.
Went out Saturday night. Keep on forgetting the week was a little long, but went out there Saturday night, and with a motor that was a restricted Napa motor, which is basically like a 360 with restrictors in it, and definitely not all the high-tech stuff that all the rest of the NMMRA cars have. He went out there and he cleaned off the top and took his first ever victory, and that was really neat because his family's been in the sport super long. He was so pumped in this interview after the race, too. He was just pretty much speechless.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see him get the win against some of the greats, past Jason Grady of all people on the outside. Hard to do that. He's a force to be reckoned with down there, especially in Sholo. So neat racing all around the world this weekend. And you know what? When I was down there, I read this article, and I want to see what you guys think about it. There's this flower. And
It's always interesting when he finds articles.
There's this flower that I found, and it's called the Naked-Man Orchid. What does this look like to you
Sure
guys?
enough, that's a naked dude.
No, that looks like a naked man. It's got the pecker and everything.
Wow.
And he's purple,
It's
too,
not-
so it's been a while.
So it's not a naked woman, that's for sure.
Well, that one might... I don't know. That picture kind of looks like a naked chick with a dick, if you're asking me.
Yikes.
But, yeah, I have no idea where these grow,
Where'd you find this article?
but it made me laugh because, like, they do look like dicks. I'm not going to lie.
That's interesting.
Little curly. Like, this one
Yeah.
has a chub.
One next to him just hanging.
Yeah, this one's just hanging out. But I was just wondering, would you guys plant these in your garden?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
In the
Nick?
backyard, for sure.
I could see Mick doing it
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt.
One
I
of
would,
us, maybe not.
I would line my sidewalk to my front door in those. Make an entrance. Hey, I got a new little segment for you. I'm going to
Okay.
test you on your NASCAR trivia. It's called Stump the Bus.
Okay,
And,
I dig it.
I'm going to kind of start hard and then maybe do some multiple choice if it's really stumping you.
Usually you want to start soft and then get hard.
Right. Well, I'm going to crank up the heat right away. So, who won the 1993 Daytona 500?
1993 Daytona 500.
Yeah, we're throwing it back a little bit.
Oh, baby. Do I get it? Is
How would
it
he know?
multiple
He wasn't even
choice?
born yet.
I'll give you a little hint. It wasn't Bob Marley.
1993
Yeah.
Daytona 500. Oh, man.
Come on now, think fast.
Can you give me like a hint?
Not without giving it away.
Okay.
He also won the 1998 pole in Las Vegas.
What the fuck? Okay. I'll just throw out a name, I guess. 1993?
Drove a Ford back then.
A Ford? Oh, man.
You actually, I believe, had a license plate of this guy on your Bronco.
Was it Dale Jarrett?
It was Dale Jarrett.
Wow.
Bingo! I had to give you a hint for that.
That
one.
was that
All
was a
right.
big
That was
hint.
a
Well, that was a
couple
hard
hints.
one,
Yeah.
I
dude.
know.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Damn.
crank up.
Can you do one from when I was alive?
Yeah.
I will. It's question number 2. What year was the first race at Homestead, Miami?
2000.
You're close.
In-
You were alive.
It was either 98. It was 98 to 2000.
Pick a number.
1999.
Bam! Right on the money.
Wow. Pretty impressive.
All right, number 3. You ready?
I am.
How many turns does Sonoma Infineon Raceway have?
Well,
For
let
the
me count
Cup
them out
Series.
really quick. You got that first left-hander.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 1, and you go up the hill, 2, back left 3,
Up the thrill.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
10 turns. According to your book, it says 10 turns.
I thought it was 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Because there's one extra kink on in
Well,
the S's, but
They do
That's a
different
hard one.
configurations for different racing, but NASCAR, they said 10
I think it's
turns.
11 for NASCAR now. But
Oh. Things
Well,
may have
isn't it
changed.
4A? Like turn 4 and 4A?
Yeah.
Does that?
Yeah, that is right.
So 10 to 11.
So it is 11
You can-
turns, but you
it's
have
like 11
4
turns
and
with
4A.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, they call turn 4 2 turns, which is different.
Which is, that's Jewish. You can't do that.
That's 11 corners.
All
Okay.
right, moving on.
Next
Question
one.
number 4. I'm going to give you a multiple choice one. Who received the largest fine in NASCAR? Was it Travis Quaffle, Kurt Busch, Carl Long, or Clint Boyer?
Carl Long.
Nope, Kurt Busch.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit. What year is that book from? Because Carl Long. Oh man,
This book was.
I thought I was gonna do so much better.
Yeah, I thought you were too, but you're dumb. 2007 copyright.
All right, well I guess that's
The
true.
latest.
Kurt Busch, huh?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Well, I thought Carl Long got hit with the heaviest fine, like
He
around
was on
2009.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
I was
last
wrong.
question.
All right.
Another multiple choice. What happened to Richard Petty in his first race ever? Did he finish last? Did he get wrecked by his father? Did he flip? Or did he win?
Ooh. First race ever?
Yeah,
Did he win?
he did not. He got wrecked by his father.
Okay,
So-
well I got 1 out of 5. I'll take that.
I'll hit you next week. I'll probably lighten it up a little bit since we didn't do too hot this time, but I stumped the bus.
You stumped
You
the
did
bus
stump the
this
bus.
week. Well, Jason, I want to come back to you though really quick. We've all known each other quite a long time. I think we talked about it in the first podcast, and then once again on the New Mexico Motorsports Report 2 weeks ago. But we met in woodshop class. What was your first impression of me and Mick?
Well, I knew Mick going in. You know, I knew him through middle school, and I actually didn't like him in middle school, which was kind of weird. But then we had a couple classes together freshman year, and like I knew him, and kind of just we had something to talk about. So I kind of got to know him. Like, hey, this guy's actually not too bad. And then,
And then you're like, oh shit, I'm wrong.
we were just like totally messing around, not doing our work, just stealing projects, turning them in for a grade, and putting them back on the shelf. And
Meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, I was losing projects and wondering where the projects that I made went.
Putting all his hard work and effort into
and
it.
then we needed 3 for a group project, and we're like, well, damn.
For an Adirondack chair, right?
Yeah, for the chair. And we're like, well, we're only a group of 2. We're like, that guy looks like he knows what he's doing. He'll probably build the whole chair.
Yeah.
Sure enough, he did build the whole chair. And that turned out to be you. And ever since then,
Fast forward 7
we
years,
kind of hit it
and
off.
couple birthdays, couple long nights, and here we are, man. We made it. We're not
filming
dead
a
yet.
Podcast together now.
we're
Who
not.
knew?
We're not dead yet.
No.
No, it's been a fun one though.
It's been fun. I'd say the past couple years have been the most fun for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
now that we can drive and stuff.
the memories were fun, and we really bonded hard in stagecraft the next 2 years.
Yep, we that was a hell of a class. We wrecked some shit in there too.
We there was this $14,000 curtain, and me and Spencer were assigned to do a job, and I ran a screw through the board, and he's like, dude, you should take that out. That's way too long. And I'm like, no, it's not going to hang on any clothing. It's fine. And we come back the next day.
The next day was the best part
The
too.
teacher is livid. Walks in.
We get in there and we're sitting in the seats because she sits the whole class down in the auditorium, the front 2 rows, and me and Jason are like, ooh, like somebody messed up so bad, and she takes this curtain and she starts saying, somebody in this class ruined this curtain, and she starts going like this, and the curtain comes flying. There's a big gaping hole flapping in the wind, and me and Jason look at each other and we're like, ooh, somebody screwed up and ruined the curtain. And she goes, Jason and Spencer? and our eyes just go, oh shit. And she goes, this cost us $14,000. What was your reaction at that moment?
I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. My eyes were huge, and like I was sitting there like petrified.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and especially since you told me, like, not to do that, and then it happened, and then...
I was so sure that something bad was going to go wrong,
and
too.
Then, yeah.
Sure enough, it did.
And then you got more of the blame than I did. Like,
every time in that class.
Yeah.
Again, with the ball, and someone named Dong Tran kicked a ball into a light.
Yeah, and then we all just took off inside, and you were actually working that day, which was really surprising.
Yeah, rare.
And then, like, everyone, write down a name, who it was. Spencer.
Don't know. Spencer. There was only 2 that wrote don't know, and that was this guy right here, and the other one involved our buddy Dong, who also used to travel with your guys' team. Speaking of that, you guys travel on the road. You've been doing that for quite a while, both on the legend side and the modified side. Lately, I've been able to tag along on the modified side, but how's that been like for you guys working together, both as friends and also as a team?
It's really good teamwork. It's good chemistry. We work with each other very well, and so we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. Mick's helped out a lot. You're helping out this year a lot too, and he's been with me for a while. He knows how I work. He knows the rhythm, and
right.
When we get to the track, he knows his job, and I know mine.
It's exactly that. It's a rhythm. You just fall into place in what you got to do.
We just don't get worked up. We just have fun at the weekend. Keep it loose, and do what we can do. And most of the time, we do really well. And this past weekend, we came out on top. So it works out, and I'm having more fun this year than I've had in a while. Have my friends.
I think that's the case for me too. I mean, last year, I got to be honest, I was not having fun at the racetrack. I was going there, and I was showing up angry. And I think whenever you do that, I think you've been there too. And Matt, I think you've witnessed it, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's not a good mindset.
It's not a good thing to go to the track upset and with a negative attitude, because it just sets the whole weekend offset, and just it kind of just starts you out on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, I think you do better when you're just when you're loose and having fun, because you're not as stressed out. You're there to win, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But you're just so much more relaxed, and if a little thing happens, it's not a big deal. You guys just work through it, fix it, and then go race the night. And, if it goes good, it goes good. And if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. You're probably going to race again in a couple weeks, so...
Yeah, and that's a very good point. Speaking of that, what do you have on your schedule in the next coming weeks?
Next week we're going to Vegas, and Matt is actually making his debut in a legend car on Friday night.
That's right.
And I'm going to race the car on Saturday night. Saturdays we usually get a couple more cars. It's a little bit higher pressure situation, so Fridays are a little more laid back. We kind of just want to get him some laps with a cleaner racetrack and not as stressed out as an environment, just to get him going.
And I forgot about this. I'm going to be honest. So breaking news here on the Wheels Up Wednesday podcast. Matt, going into your first ever race in a legend car.
Yep.
What does it feel like? You got butterflies yet?
No, I'm sure I will. I'm ready to go blister some laps, put down a quick time, so we'll see what happens. Show them what's.
Do you have any expectations going in?
I'm going to be very slow and cautious, because obviously I don't want to stuff her in the fence. Not my car. So,
but then again, not your car, stuff her in the fence.
But then again, yeah. No, super cool opportunity. I'm nervous. It'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
So do we get to wrap it in Matt's Mobile Detailing? Is this a full ride?
It's not, but late notice, so couldn't get the stickers made.
I mean, since I'm racing the car Saturday, I'm probably not even going to put his name on the car. But
true. I am Jason.
Yeah, are you signing in as Matt Omick, or are you just going to go under Jason Irwin?
I'm probably going to go under Mike Honcho to see what happens. Or just some random name.
Mike Litteris.
Yeah. We'll see what I'm feeling.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
And this is the first time you're going to be able to race anything on a real scale, right?
Right, with other people. I've put in a couple laps around an empty track, but with other people around me, it'll be the first, so...
Very cool. What do you think? Are you nervous?
I'm not really nervous. I'm just, like I said, this year we're just having fun.
Right.
And he's helped me out so much in the past. He's done so much for our team. And, he's there every weekend, busting his ass, trying to make sure the stuff is right and done correctly. And he doesn't cut any corners. And, it's just a good opportunity that I have. And I'm able to put him in a car for a couple races this year. And, I know he's never done it, but always wanted to. So I'm just happy I can make that happen.
That's a cool opportunity.
It's a very cool. Definitely memories to be made.
If you don't stuff her in the fence, maybe I'll be able to talk to my dad and Jim and get you in a dirt car for our first ride.
It. A little mini sprint action.
Yeah. Maybe go down to Uranium Capital or something.
If everything goes good, he's going to run again in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from next Friday. So
damn, where's this list? Where do we sign up?
Sign up sheet's quite long. dog.
And it's full. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's okay.
But, I mean, no pressure. You know, that car only won 2 out of 3 races this past
no
weekend.
pressure.
So.
Just got to keep
Yeah.
the reputation
Just
up.
wheel.
I got you. I'll make you proud.
Matt, if you don't win,
Uh-huh.
then Jason's the new host.
Okay.
So,
Thank God.
yeah.
Early retirement.
I'm not going to win on purpose.
We'll get someone to talk now finally on the show. How about that?
Hey, it's a win-win for all of us.
Well, speaking of racing, we had the Xfinity Series at Charlotte this weekend for the Alsco 300.
We did. Brad Keselowski on top on that one. Right behind him, Cole Custer. Third place went to Christopher Bell. Ty Dillon in fourth. Elliott Sadler rounded up the top 5. Ryan Truex went 6th. Daniel Hemrick 7th. 8th was Kyle Busch. I'm sure he was a little bit happier with his car this weekend.
I don't think so after his wreck late in the going there after winning 2 stages. But
9th went to Matt Tiff, and 10th was Kaz Grala. So.
now, Kaz Grala, that's someone I want to talk about really quick with you guys. That's a brand new race team. Fury Race Cars putting that program together in the last 2 weeks. They just bought a couple cars, head out to the track. Obviously, pretty good late model team back east.
Yeah,
But
very good.
To be able to top a 10th place finish on the board in their first ever start, what do you think that means to a team like that?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Brand new team, you know, and they're lucky, you know, Kaz, he got some good experience in the trucks, and he ran with GMS for a while, so he's in good equipment. And he's been running Xfinity cars, you know, kind of in a little bit lower end team. And I feel like, you know, the Fury team, I feel like they have really good super late models, so they're, you know, their
Obviously
Xfinity cars are
super
probably
knowledgeable about what they're doing.
Right, their Xfinity cars are going to be in the ballpark, you know, and Kaz has some experience in going in. I feel like they're just going to build on that, and they're going to be a top 5 team by the end of the year.
I agree with that, too. And it's cool to see a new team come into the sport like that. Kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
I mean, most teams, you know, try to prepare throughout the whole winter. They saw an opportunity and they just jumped at it.
Yeah.
So that's something that was really interesting to me that I wanted to bring up. Now let's look at the 2018 NASCAR Xfinity Point Series, point standing, excuse me. Christopher Bell on top right now with 1 win. Tyler Reddick, Justin Allgaier also have 1 win. Elliott Sadler leading the overall points right now. Daniel Hemrick 5th. 6th to Cole Custer. Brandon Jones 7th. Ryan Truex 8th. Matt Tiff 9th. Ryan Reed in the 10th position. Now let's look at our cutoff. For the playoffs, Austin Cindric sitting in the 11th position. Michael Annett 12th. That is your last person in the playoffs as it stands right now. Ross Chastain sitting right outside in 13th position. Ryan Sieg 14th. And Kaz Grala staying strong in the 15th position.
I'm glad Jason answered that Kaz Grala question because I had no clue. I've heard the name, I've seen him up there, but
You?
I don't pay attention.
you don't have a clue about something on the show?
Are you?
I'm not shocked.
Are you? Okay.
I'm not shocked at
That's
all.
good.
We also had the Coca-Cola 600 this weekend, though. Biggest weekend in racing, I would say. Memorial Day weekend. I can't remember last time I was able to actually watch a race on Memorial Day weekend because I'm always racing myself. I'm sure you're the same story with you. And now you, more recently.
Yep, this is true. Wasn't able to watch it this weekend.
But, yeah, Coca-Cola 600 this weekend. Kyle Busch. Let's talk about that just for a second now. What do you think it means to a driver like Kyle Busch, who seemingly has done it all, now to finally check off that final box that states that he has won at every active cup track on the circuit?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. He's the first driver to do it, if I'm not mistaken. And for that, you know, he even said on the radio after the race, he's like, I've dreamed of this since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally did. And you could just hear the emotion in his voice. And just the whole team's got to be walking on air. And I think it's only going to propel them. I think they've been fast, but I think the 4 car's been dominant. I think this might be the momentum they need to get them ahead for the rest of the season.
And speaking of Kevin Harvick and that 4-car trouble this weekend, another history mark for him. This is the first time in his whole career that he's finished last. So that's a little bit of a hit as we move on into Pocono. What do you think that team's feeling right now, Mick?
Well, I think they need to regroup and see what they can do in Pocono. Probably doesn't feel good to finish last.
No, it never does. That's the one thing drivers, obviously hate is finishing last. I'd take a top 5, top 10 any day in the Cup Series over a last place finish because that hurts. That hurts the whole team. Obviously ruined a really nice race car. They were a fast car all weekend. But let's take a look at the results for the Coca-Cola 600. Kyle Busch Picking up the win, Martin Truex Jr. second, Denny Hamlin third, fourth went to Brad Keselowski in the Stars, Stripes, and Lights Ford. Jimmy Johnson in the fifth position, Jamie McMurray with a nice run in sixth, Kyle Larson seventh, Kurt Busch in the Monster Energy Ford in the eighth position, Alex Bowman ninth, and 10th went to Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Cool paint schemes this weekend, Brad and Jimmy.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful paint schemes this weekend. That's another thing that I love about the Memorial Day weekend. And obviously the July 4th weekend as we move into Daytona. Beautiful red, white, and blue paint schemes all over the place.
Paint schemes. Those are so cool to see.
Now let's take a look at this Cup standings. Kevin Harvick still leads with 5 wins over Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr. in 4th, Clinton Boyer 5th, Austin Dillon 6th, Brad Keselowski 7th, Kurt Busch sits in 8th. 9th is Denny Hamlin, 10th Kyle Larson as he moves up after a solid run. And a good save this weekend, might I add. Eric Almirola in the 11th position, Ryan Blaney 12th, Jimmy Johnson 13th, 14th goes to Eric Jones, Alex Bowman, and Chase Elliott rounding out your top 16 for the playoffs right now. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., talk about that really quick. Tied with Chase Elliott at the moment for the final spot as they sit for the NASCAR Cup playoffs. That's a time where you really have to capitalize as we move on to Pocono.
Yeah, you do. I mean, Roush is starting to pick it up a little bit. They really are. I think Ricky's running better at all the racetracks. I think the team shows up with more speed each week. And I feel like Hendrick, they're a little behind the 8 ball right now. They don't really have a strong running car, and they're just barely hanging on. With Roush coming up faster, they're going to need to find some speed if they want to make the playoffs this year.
And that's a good point. I don't think anybody saw Roush coming up this quick this year.
No.
Of course, now adding Matt Kenseth behind the wheel once again, that's going to do nothing but propel them forward as they make their march back to the front of the series.
Yeah, question for you, maybe did they find speed with Kenseth coming back for a part-time ride?
I think yes. I think it helped them.
From Gibbs, which is the dominant team in NASCAR.
Or at least was, yeah.
Or at least it has been.
I think that it did help them speed-wise, but more than anything, confidence.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing against Trevor Bayne, but he was hurting the program, I believe.
Yeah.
He just didn't have the confidence coming in every weekend. And when you have a driver such as Matt Kenseth that you can bring in and he's going to do a good job every time he goes out on the track, and he's able to give you really reliable feedback, that helps the whole team. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is now able to lean on him and talk about even more in depth of what he needs to do to get his car better too. And I think that showed this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Get some tips and tricks from the veteran.
That wasn't the only racing going on this weekend, though. We also had the 102nd running of the Indianapolis 500, where Will Power took the win over Ed Carpenter. Scott Dixon third, Alexander Rossi fourth, Ryan Hunter-Reay fifth, Simon Pagenaud sixth, Carlos Munoz in the 7th position, Joseph Newgarden 8th, Robert Wickens 9th, and Graham Rahal rounding out your top 10.
Poor Danica Patrick, man, that was a hard hit.
Yeah, what a heartbreak for Danica Patrick. I mean, her final 2 starts, I know she wanted to go out with a bang, but not like that.
Not an actual bang.
Yeah.
Not 2 actual bangs. Hard in the wall in both her NASCAR finale and now her IndyCar finale. Do you think that really hurts her? You think
it can't feel good? Well, I'm not trying to be a smartass, but it really it's not gonna boost your confidence to go out like that.
Do you think she's satisfied with the career she's had?
I would say no. I would say no for NASCAR. She never got a win. She might have got a pole, but is she happy with the pole?
I mean, I guess that's more of a question.
It's not like a win, but.
I think she definitely broke some barriers down.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a male-dominated sport. It's very tough, and those races are so enduring, and some of the fans don't realize it. And I would say generally males have more strength, and to go 400, 500, 600 miles is a lot of work. And, I don't know if she had a little bit of fatigue that was kind of not propelling her to be competitive at the end of those races. But, I mean, first female in NASCAR, she got a pole at Daytona, which is a lot of credit to the crew and the car they brought. But I'd say she had a decent, career. Obviously, she didn't get a win, but she had a couple decent runs.
She did get a win in IndyCar, though, and that's no small feat.
I was going to say, she's probably more proud of her IndyCar career. Definitely.
And I think that's deservingly so, yeah.
Yeah, that's where she came up. That's where people found out who she was, so.
And now let's look at the point standings for IndyCar, though. Will Power jumps to the top of the board, just 2 points back is Alexander Rossi. Joseph Newgarden sits in third, Scott Dixon fourth, Ryan Hunter-Ray fifth, Graham Rahal sixth, Robert Wickens seventh, the rookie. Sebastian Bourdais falls to eighth, Simon Pagenaud ninth, and James Hinchcliffe. What an anchor. I mean, after missing the 102nd running of the Indianapolis 500, dropping from fifth in the point standings all the way to 10th. Heartbreaker for him and that team, now 99 points out of the lead.
Yeah, that's a huge hit.
No NHRA this weekend, but we did have World of Outlaws action. Brad Sweet took the win on Memorial Day at Lawrenceburg Speedway in Indiana. He came from 8th and passed Donnie Schatz, who's been on fire this year on lap 26. And it was a really good show, I gotta say. They put on a great show out there at the Lawrenceburg Speedway. Always a fast track. They put on every time you go there, it's side-by-side action, and it's definitely one that drivers circle on their calendar. Looking at results for them, Brad Sweet took the win, Donnie Schatz second, David Gravel third, fourth went to Shane Stewart, Parker Price Miller in the fifth position with another strong run, Jason Johnson sixth, Aaron Reitzel seventh, Giovanni Scelzi, strong showing for him in the eighth position, Christopher Bell, NASCAR star, making his return to dirt, ninth, and 10th went to Joey Saldana.
Is it almost time for the watch list? We had
Just about.
We had
ARCA, though, at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The return of the Charlotte Motor Speedway this weekend. And for a minute, I was like, oh, that's why they don't go to Charlotte. Because it looked for a long time there that it was just going to be a runaway with Todd Gilliland.
Yeah, that car was on rails at the start of that race, and he was just so hooked up, and I didn't think anybody could touch him. They sat on the pole, they were leading laps, and they were just pulling away from the field. And late in the going, you saw Brandon Jones start coming to Riley Herbst, and I thought they might have something. And a bad pit stop by Todd Gilliland's crew allowed the other two to get in front. He was just never able to get back around. So, hats off to Brandon Jones. He's doing good in the ARCA Series every time he comes back and returns. So, should keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon Jones picking up the win in that. Riley Herbst second. Sheldon Creed third with a good save late in the race. Todd Gilliland fourth. Zane Smith fifth. Sixth went to Quinn Huff. Brett Holmes came home in seventh. Will Rogers eighth. Cody Rohrborough in the ninth position. And Brandon Lynn finishing in the top 10. Good weekend of racing, though, wasn't it, guys?
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I was satisfied this Memorial Day weekend for sure.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, lots more racing to come up. Continuing with our Wheels Up watch list, Camping World Truck Series returns to Texas Friday, June 8th. In the Xfinity Series, we're going to Pocono Saturday, June 2nd. Also will be the Monster Energy Series Sunday, June 3rd. Verizon IndyCar goes to Michigan for the Chevrolet Duel in Detroit, June 2nd and 3rd. They run, I believe that's Saturday and Sunday, to make the Duel.
Yep, 2-day show.
Yep. NHRA, JAGS Route 66 Nationals, June 2nd and 3rd. World of Outlaws, we have the Rumble in Michigan, Lake Odessa. That'll be June 1st. And right after that is the Badger 40. And in Wisconsin, that'll be June 2nd. NASCAR K&N goes to Memphis for the Memphis 150.
Of course, that's the East Series there.
That is the East Series. That'll be June 2nd. ARCA, Pocono Raceway, June 1st. So
a lot of the NASCAR Cup stars like to run that ARCA race to get a little bit more experience as they head into the Pocono weekend.
Track time.
The Tricky Triangle this weekend.
Tricky Triangle. Hey, did you ever find out the pole with the Yanny or Laurel?
I actually never ran it.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to ask you because
I got a little bit lazy.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm a pretty busy guy.
Well, we'll move on. So.
But I think everybody agreed with me that it was Laurel.
I say Yanny. I'll be the different one.
Well, Jason, I want to thank you once again for joining us today on the Wheels Up Wednesday podcast. I'm sure there's a lot of people that help you get to the track every weekend. You want to thank them?
There is Milwaukee, Weather Guard, Car Crafters, obviously Matt's Mobile Detailing, not only in the support, but he really works hard on the cars every week. Diamond Products, Saycon Construction, and Bell Limousine, they all make it happen and let me do what I love to do. So.
And Rock and Randall.
Good to be me right now.
And of course, Rock and Randall and the best goddamn spotter in the business, the bus.
The bus.
Well, that's about all we have for the show today. Thank you guys once again for tuning in to another episode of the Wheels Up Wednesday podcast. For Matt Omick, Jason Irwin, I'm Spencer Hill, and we will see you next Wednesday.